They laughed at the 65-year-old substitute teacher. "Too old, Mr. Peterson. Can't even use a computer. Why don't you just retire?" The man with the worn briefcase, the soft voice, the kind eyes, invisible. But when 3 gunmen stormed Lincoln High, when 40 students were about to die, Mr. Peterson's hands moved like a soldier's, because he was one. Lieutenant Commander James Peterson, Navy SEAL, 32 years, 12 countries, classified operations. The man they mocked? He saved 40 lives in 18 minutes. This is his story. September 2023, Lincoln High School, South Chicago. Every morning at 7:15 a.m., James Peterson arrived. 65 years old, gray hair, military short, wire-rimmed glasses, khaki pants, blue cardigan sweater, and a leather briefcase that had seen 30 years of service. He walked through the hallways, slowly, quietly. Students pushed past him, laughing, mocking. "Yo, who's the old dude? Is that the substitute? He looks like he's gonna die." Mr. Peterson? More like Mr. Boring. James never reacted. He just kept walking to room 214, American history. But his walk, when James moved through those halls, his posture was different. Back straight, shoulders squared, eyes constantly scanning, left, right, behind, combat awareness, muscle memory from 3 decades. But nobody noticed. The principal, Mrs. Chen, had hired him 6 months ago. "Mr. Peterson, I'm being honest. You're overqualified. Master's degree in history. Why do you want to be a substitute teacher?" James had looked at her diploma, University of Wisconsin, education degree, and said quietly, "Because my wife was a teacher for 38 years, and she always said, teachers don't get enough respect. So, I want to fill in where I'm needed." Mrs. Chen had smiled. "Well, we definitely need you. Welcome to Lincoln High." But she didn't ask the rest. She didn't ask where his wife was now. She didn't ask why his hands had thin white scars. She didn't ask why he sometimes flinched at loud noises. Because some stories are too painful to tell. October 12, 2023, period 4, 10:45 a.m. James stood at the front of the class. 32 students, sophomores. Most weren't listening. Phones out, headphones in, talking, laughing. "Mr. Peterson," a boy named Dante called out. "Yeah? Why are we learning about World War II? That was like 1,000 years ago." Laughter. James paused. "It was 79 years ago, Dante. Whatever. It's boring. Who cares about old wars?" More laughter. James walked to the window, looked out at the parking lot, and said quietly, "War is never boring. War is the worst thing human beings do to each other. And if we forget, we repeat it." Dante rolled his eyes. "Okay, boomer." The class exploded with laughter. James just nodded. "Fair enough. Let's move on." But one student wasn't laughing. Maria Gonzalez, 16 years old, sitting in the back row. She'd been watching Mr. Peterson, the way he stood, the way he scanned the room, the scars on his hands, and something told her this man was different. After class, she approached him. "Mr. Peterson?" "Yes, Maria? Were you in the military?" James froze, just for a second, then smiled. "What makes you think that?" "The way you stand." "My dad was Army. He stands like that too." James looked at her, really looked. "I was, a long time ago." "What branch?" "Navy." "What did you do?" James closed his briefcase. "I served. That's all." Maria walked away. Some? Tight through 12, 2023, getting 1:47 p.m. James was teaching period 7, American history, same classroom, 40 students this time, crowded, loud, typical Thursday afternoon. Then, bang, a sound. James knew instantly. Gunfire, distant, maybe the cafeteria, 200 yards away. Students looked up, confused. Was that? Bang, bang, bang. Closer now, screaming, in the hallway. James moved fast. He grabbed the door, slammed it shut, locked it. "Everybody down. Now." His voice transformed. No longer soft, no longer kind. Command voice. The voice of a Navy SEAL lieutenant commander. Students dropped. No questions, no hesitation. The tone, the authority, bypassed their brains. 40 teenagers, on the floor, silent, terrified. James moved to the windows, pulled down the blinds. "Maria, you, come here." Maria crawled over Yes, sir? I need you to be calm. Can you do that? I think so. Good. I need you to text 911. Tell them, active shooter, Lincoln High, multiple gunmen, South Wing, unknown casualties. Okay. And Maria, yes? Tell them, there's a SEAL in room 214. They'll understand. Maria stared. A SEAL? James didn't answer. He was listening. Bong, bong, bong. Closer. Room 210. 4 doors down. Screaming. A girl's voice. Please don't. Bong. Silence. 40 students started crying. Quietly. Desperately. One boy whispered, "We're gonna die. We're gonna die." James turned, looked at them, and said, calmly, "No, you're not, because I'm here, and I've been in worse situations than this. Do you understand me?" Silence. I said, "Do you understand me?" "Yes, sir," they whispered. James moved to his briefcase, opened it. Inside, books, papers, pens, and, at the bottom, wrapped in cloth, a knife, fixed blade, 7 inches, K-bar, standard issue, Navy SEAL. He'd carried it for 32 years, across 12 countries, through operations he couldn't talk about, and now he was holding it again. Bang, bang, bang. Room 212, 2 doors down, footsteps, heavy boots, multiple people, at least 3. James positioned himself behind the door, knife in his right hand, low, ready, and he whispered to himself, "Sarah, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but these kids, they're somebody's children, just like ours was." 1:52 p.m., 18 minutes until police arrival. The doorknob turned, locked. Bang, 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 pounding. Open the door. A man's voice, young, angry, desperate. James said nothing. I said, "Open the door or I'll shoot through it." James calculated. Standard classroom door, hollow core, 9mm round, would penetrate easily. He looked at the 40 students huddled in the corner, away from the door. Good positioning. Bang, 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 bang. 5 shots through the door. Splinters flying, holes appearing, students screaming. But James was already moving. He grabbed the teacher's desk, flipped it, solid oak, 300 pounds. He moved it like it weighed nothing, shoved it against the door. What the? The gunman tried the door again. Wouldn't budge. There's a desk. Get the door, ram. Footsteps running away. James turned to the students. Listen to me. They're coming back with a ram. When that door opens, I need you to stay down. Do not look up. Do not move, no matter what you hear. Do you understand? What are you going to do? A girl sobbed. James looked at the knife in his hand. What I was trained to do. 1:55 p.m. 15 minutes. Footsteps returning. Voices. 3 of them. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Crash. The door splintered. The desk shifted, but held. Again. Crash. The desk moved 6 inches. James stood behind the door, breathing controlled. Heart rate 60 beats per minute. Combat calm. Crash. The desk fell. The door swung open, and 3 gunmen rushed in. Gunman 1, 19 years old, R15, face covered. Gunman 2, 22 years old, shotgun, tattoos on arms. Gunman 3, 17 years old, handgun, shaking. They saw the students, 40 kids, huddled, terrified, perfect targets. Gunman 1 raised his rifle. Finally, let's. James moved from behind the door, silent, fast, lethal. His left hand grabbed Gunman 3's wrist, twisted, snap, wrist broken. Gun fell. His right hand drove the knife into Gunman 3's thigh, femoral artery. 3 seconds. Gunman 3 collapsed, bleeding out. Gunman 2 turned, shotgun, swinging, too slow. James was already inside his range. Left hand grabbed the barrel, pushed it up. Boom. Shotgun fired into the ceiling. Right hand, knife to the neck, carotid artery. 6 seconds. Gunman 2 dropped. Gunman 1 fired. Bang, 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 bang. R15 full auto. But James was moving, rolling behind the overturned desk. Rounds punching through wood, missing by inches. Students screaming. James threw the knife 7 inches, spinning 15 feet. It buried in Gunman 1's shoulder. Right side. He dropped the rifle. James lunged, grabbed the AR-15, stripped it, magazine out, charging handle back, round ejected, weapon cleared. 11 seconds. Gunman 1 tried to run. James grabbed him, arm around his neck, rear naked choke. Sleep, James whispered. 10 seconds later. Gunman 1 unconscious. 2:10 p.m. Police arrive. Sirens, boots, shouts. Police, hands up. Neutralized. 40 students, alive. I'm unarmed. Students are safe. Room 214. SWAT, entered. Weapons, trained on James. On the ground, now. James complied. Face down. Hands, behind his back. Clear the room. Get the kids out. Students stumbled out, crying, shaking. Maria stopped, looked back at Mr. Peterson, face down, handcuffed. He saved us, she screamed. He's a SEAL. He told me. He saved us. The SWAT commander paused. A SEAL. He knelt next to James. Sir, what's your name? James Peterson. Rank, Lieutenant Commander. Retired. SEAL team? James hesitated. Classified. The commander looked at the scene. 3 neutralized gunmen, 40 safe students, knife work, precision, professional. He uncuffed James. Sir, thank you for your service. The news exploded. 65-year-old substitute teacher neutralizes 3 school shooters. Navy SEAL saves 40 students in 18-minute standoff. The teacher they mocked was a classified operator. James couldn't leave his apartment. News crews, reporters. The Navy called. Commander Peterson, we'd like to honor you. No thank you. Sir, you're a hero. No, I'm a teacher who did what needed to be done. But the students, they found him, 40 of them, outside his apartment, with flowers, cards, tears. Mr. Peterson, we're so sorry. We were so mean to you. You saved our lives. Why didn't you tell us? James looked at them. These kids who'd mocked him, ignored him, called him boring. And he said, quietly, because heroes don't announce themselves. They just show up when you need them. That night, James sat in his apartment, alone, looking at a photograph. A woman, blonde hair, kind eyes, teacher's lanyard around her neck. Sarah Peterson, his wife. She'd been a 3rd grade teacher at Sandy Brook Elementary for 38 years. December 14th, 2012. She was in her classroom when a gunman entered. 20 children died that day, and 6 teachers. Sarah was one of them. She'd shielded 5 children with her body. 3 survived. Sarah didn't. James had been overseas on a classified op. When he got the call, he couldn't make it back for 3 days. By the time he arrived, she was already buried. He'd retired immediately, left the Navy, left everything, and for 11 years, he'd been lost until 6 months ago when he walked into Lincoln High and said, I want to be a substitute teacher, because Sarah had always said, teachers are the ones who stand between children and the world. We're the shields, the protectors. And now, James had been that shield for 40 kids. He looked at Sarah's photo. I did it, sweetheart, he whispered. I saved them, like you did. And for the first time in 11 years, he felt peace. James Peterson no longer substitutes. He's the full-time American history teacher at Lincoln High. His classroom, always full. Waiting list to get in, because students finally understand that the quiet man with the worn briefcase is someone worth listening to. The Navy honored him with the Navy Cross for extraordinary heroism, but James gave the medal to Maria. You believed me, he said, when I said you'd be safe. That takes courage too. Maria is now studying criminal justice, wants to be FBI, because Mr. Peterson showed me that one person can make a difference. And Dante, the boy who called him Boomer, he wrote an essay titled, The Teacher Who Saved My Life. I thought Mr. Peterson was just some old guy, boring, useless, but he taught me the most important lesson. Never judge someone by how they look, because the person you ignore might be the person who saves you. Because James Peterson learned the truth. You don't need a uniform. You don't need recognition. You just need to be there when someone needs you. And sometimes, the greatest warriors are the ones in cardigans, carrying briefcases, teaching history. This is the story of James Peterson, the substitute teacher who was a Navy SEAL, the man who honored his wife's memory by becoming the shield she always was.